recording live at the Calamity Jones Hour. I'm Mandy Jones, the comedian. And as always, next to me is my husband, Glenn. He always gets the intro, but he's not here, here in spirit. He's working at the moment. My guest was already like, I thought your husband was going to be here. Because, it's just not as fun with just me.
Yeah.
He's trying to, chime in here. Please share the show. If you found the show, share the show. This is the 27th episode of this show. We do it every Friday from 8 to 9. And we have another show called The Wildflowers, which is Bonnie Scalisi and I, another comedian, every 7:30 to 8:30. Every 7:30 to 8:30. That would be a lot of shows. No, every Wednesday from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Same place you find me here. And these are live interactive podcasts. So when we are talking to you guys, you can comment on Facebook and we'll comment back. So that's basically the rundown. That's the skinny of the show. I think without much further ado, we are going to introduce, he's a husband and he's a dad, and he's a comedian, and he's a podcaster, and he's my friend, and now yours, Mr. Johnny MacDonald.
Hey.
Woo! Welcome.
I'm so happy to be here.
I know you
really am.
I went
to the outlet.
I know, and they threw you
at
out.
The time
you're like, they let me buy the pants, but they didn't let me try them on.
They don't like. Yeah, I mean they.
Why? Because you're gonna dirty them up, so you gotta dirty.
No,
them up
well, I guess
home?
because of COVID, they don't want.
But they let you return them if you want.
Yeah, they let you return them. So I was like,
my dirty COVID-ridden house, and then bring them to. I mean, at least in the store they can manage.
Yeah, I know.
It makes no sense.
It doesn't, but I understand. I had a feeling when I was like, I asked the
They're like you out of your mind.
The store clerk is like, yeah, can I try these on? It's like, no.
This is a clothing store, you high.
Yeah,
sir.
so I had to wait till I get here. I was like, all right, if I can't get my money back, because I ripped the tags off first. I was just so excited to get a new pair of jeans.
Fuck.
But I was like,
you still have the receipt. Everything's all right.
But if I can't take them back, at least I only spent $20. So
so there you go. What outlet did you go?
Shout out to
Tanger
the
outlet.
Polo outlet in Tanger.
I went over there last night and literally like the kids were as soon as I walked in they were like, oh, we gotta lock the door. Like, it was like, but there was another mom with like two kids and another mom like I'm a mom. There was another patron, a mother with two kids. So I was like, as long as she's in here, I'm cool. Like. And as soon as she hit the line, I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm keeping these two kids, like, in here now, working.
Yeah, but I had so much fun. I went to the Polo outlet, the Nike outlet, and just, you could spend less than $100 and get, like, a shitload of stuff.
Yeah, no, hell yeah. Not the Tanger over here, but the Tanger further out east is where I had, like,
Riverhead,
my first job. That people,
like, get out of here, yeah.
Yeah, people, like, venture there. People, like, will come here from, like, China, and they're like, we gotta go to Tanger outlet. Riverhead. It's like, yo, dog. Like, that's
I used to go there. Actually, I used to work in a group home in Syosset.
Oh, okay.
And when I used to go to Syosset, some of the kids, they were allowed, like, they had, like, some of the kids had like actual jobs on the campus.
Right. Okay.
So if they got some money,
they
would be like, we would like to go to the outlets and get some clothes.
Hell
like,
yeah.
All right, that means I'm gonna go to the outlet and get some clothes.
Yeah, since we're in there.
Yeah, might as well go to Splish Splash while that.
Oh my lord! What are your would you do like the 80-foot drop? Like, will you do?
Oh hell no.
Because like I'll do roller coasters, but I won't do the 80-foot drop.
I'm not an amusement park person at all. I hate. Like I remember my first experience going to Great Adventure, and like I'm like in high school or like a little after high school, and like everybody's like, at first I used to be the guy if I went with my family and be like all of us like little cousins whatever. I was the person like Great Adventure. I would go to Bugs Bunny and watch my little cousins because I was just like petrified to go on the rides. And then one time I went on a ride with it was like a church trip, and one of the guys was like, "Oh man, you suck. You can't go on the rides and stuff like that." And then he was like, "Yeah, I can go on the rides.
Yeah.
I can go on the rides."
Yeah, I'm big. I'm
and
cool.
I went on the rides, and first ride I went on it was a Scream Machine, and It's funny because
So
like I grew a pair of balls after.
What is the base of that ride? Does it go upside down?
Scream Machine, if you ever been to Great Adventure, like the drop is like because you go up and you know like when a roller coaster goes up and you hear that
oh, like one of the slow ones. Okay.
And it's like all right, this is the beginning of the end, and then all you hear is ah! and the drop was literally vertical, like it was just. Then it had the nerve to have a loop on it. I think it had a couple loops, but I just remember everything happened so fast. And then once it was done, I was like, oh my God. Like I went on that. Then I was like, oh man, you're a man now. I was like, yeah, okay. And then I went on the free fall. You remember the free fall? I think
That's one that just goes up and down.
It just goes.
It's like
another.
Like the deadly drop.
Yeah, it's another.
What do they call that?
I forgot how many stories it was. But holy shit, was that drop just like, when you scream, your voice is going. Yeah. It's just like.
My husband's always like, that's the one you'll die on because he's like, that shit.
I don't think they even have that
like
there
the other,
anymore.
like another, like an old style roller coaster, if that thing were to break, God forbid.
Like the Cyclone, Coney Island.
It would like slow down.
Even the Cyclone in Coney Island, I would get on, like there was one point where me and my niece, we went to Coney Island. And
tell me she was not scared and you were.
No, what was funny, like I like Coney Island when it was like pre-dangerous, pre-gentrification, because it was like you can go to Coney Island.
It used to be a little seedier, which was fun. I like stuff with a little grit.
Like, I mean, what it was is not everybody was there.
Yeah.
So you go on they were like hustlers because the people like, oh man, at the time, Coney Island, I believe there was a rumor they were shutting down and about to make a whole apartment complex out of it.
Oh man, I never heard that.
And there was like people be like, yo, you want to get on the Cyclone? Like they would hustle, be like, yo, Cyclone. It was like crack deal. It was like drug deal.
Yeah, like you rode the Cyclone yet today? Like
want to ride this? Yeah. Listen.
I know, seriously, they don't have
both
to do
of y'all
$5. Six Flags, you grab a map and you start fucking checking out rides.
Cyclone, it was like, I remember we got on it and I was a little bit scared, but the first drop, all it is the first drop.
The only drop.
And then everything else was like, all right, this ain't bad. This ain't bad. And it was like, yo, you want to get on again? $2 more. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Nah, $2. Okay, here you go. We went on it like maybe 3 or 4 times, and I was so used to it. I was like, oh man, I can get on. I ain't no pussy. I can get on roller coasters. Now I go to Cyclone. I get one of the. I don't know what happened to me, but I have to go on things consistently in order to get used to it.
yeah, I hear that. I haven't been on a roller coaster in a long time, but I do love them.
But Coney Island, once it got popular again and more people going out there, they had the nerve to add more rides. Where it's like they have the Thunderbolt now, where it's like it's like a railing like this. You just go,
I know. Actually,
and it loops, and then it's like no.
that venue over there that we actually saw each other at is.
Oh yeah, the Wu-Tang concert. Yeah, I was about to mention. I was like, yeah, that was a great concert.
It actually is super nice over there now.
Yeah, we had fun. Yeah,
it looks good.
Yeah, that was a fun night. I remember just it was just good to see them all together.
Yeah, no, seriously.
That was a whole lot of fun. Me and Nigel. Shout out to Nigel Fullerton.
Yeah, hell yeah, seriously.
Yeah, so that was a fun night, and
yeah, hell yeah. So we were talking earlier that you have your own podcast. Everybody and their mother has a podcast, but every podcast is different because we're all individual snowflakes.
Some people have 3 or 4.
Yeah, here I am. I'm a fucking podcast horse. I got 2 going now. If I got 3 guys, you guys are gonna be like, yo, man, you need to chill the fuck out. You're fucking.
There's gonna be a AA meeting for podcasts. It's gonna be like a
Podcasters Anonymous.
Yeah, there's gonna be
we just can't stop doing it. I'm just going live whenever now, yo. I'm put my makeup on. I'm just going live. I can't even fucking stop. It's crazy. Because that's what Kim Kardashian would do. She'd be like, oh guys, put my makeup on, playlist. If I ever do that, guys, take me in the back and fucking shoot me, please. Seriously. But so you're a podcaster and you always talk about sports. That's why
that's what it is. Yeah. Well, no, I don't blame anybody. Why would
and you're talking about the Mets always?
No, well,
because you really don't want anybody to watch your podcast.
Well, the title of the podcast is called "Rooting for Laundry," and it's about if you're a fan of a certain team.
And why rooting for laundry? Because the laundry that you wear,
Yeah,
the
it's a
clothing.
concept
Okay,
like
I
Jerry
never.
Seinfeld has
Okay.
this famous bit. So it's like it's more of like, all right, well, I'll pick a team and tell us why you like that team and what, and then I'll run a timeline through your fandom
Okay.
of
Okay.
like, all right,
So you have guests on the show.
I
It's
have
not just
guests
you.
on it. No. I
I know
don't think
that's
my show
ballsy. Fucking
would
Bill
function
Burr.
without guests. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not that. I'm not that level. But like, it's fun to have guests and figure out why they like the New York Islanders, or the Milwaukee Bucks, or the Long Island Ducks.
Yeah.
It's like yeah, I remember in 1999 the Long Island Ducks won the AAA League
Yeah.
Galaxy Championship, and I ran on the field and pulled my dick out. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Just
yeah.
like you just
They
get
get
the,
more progressive.
yeah, uh-huh.
And I mean, I feel like a lot of people will be like, oh, like my uncle gave me a hat when I was like
Mm-hmm.
5, and like that was just
Absolutely,
I
it's
was
a
just a Yankee
story.
fan,
Yeah,
like or whatever.
exactly. It's like
Like
it's all sorts of stories. Like, oh, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan because I like the star on the helmet, and then
yeah, a lot of people
it's
our age actually are Dallas Cowboy fans that
absolutely
are not from Dallas at
well because
all.
it's America's team, and
And
then
they
it's
were
like yeah,
winning like when we were like young. When
young,
we were
yeah,
like 13, they were like
uh-huh.
fucking.
Yeah,
So like I definitely feel so. All right, so like the fandom attached to it because my mom and my stepdad's from Tennessee, so
uh-huh,
he's a diehard Tennessee Titans fan.
uh-huh.
And my mom loves sports. She was raised Giants, but she loves her man, so
Yeah.
she's
She
turned.
switched over. Yeah, she turned over. Yeah.
She's
Mm-hmm.
Titans. She loves her Titans a little more than she loves the Giants. But
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
she was they went to a Jets Titans game at Jets Stadium,
yeah.
and they
Uh-huh.
were at the hotel next door. And like the night before, they had like a Titans towel like in the room, like in the
Mm-hmm.
window, like taunting the crowd, like just asshole stuff, and fun.
Yeah, it was
And
fun. Yeah,
fun.
absolutely.
But literally, at Jets Stadium, like they were like people were like bullying my mom. People were
Absolutely,
saying shit to
yeah.
my stepdad in the bathroom, like get
Yeah.
the fuck out of here, because they both all in their Tennessee
Mm-hmm.
jerseys
Yeah,
and
I'm a Jets
stuff.
fan too, and I'll admit,
Like
Jet fans are
rough.
really they're not
Like
kind people.
just straight. Like
I
I don't
remember
like
going.
you.
I went to a few games, and you just see fights break out for no.
It's like, do you have money on this game? Then I'm wearing a T-shirt and it's pissing you off, or like.
And the one thing about football games, because it's like they happen once a week, and so it's really a big event. And it's not like baseball where they play every day and people go.
Yeah, seriously.
So it's once a week. Games probably sold out or almost sold out. So you got football the Sunday afternoon, the tailgating and people getting drunk and outside and.
So you think it's more recreational and more like
it's an event. It's an event, but it's like it gets very out of hand.
And I guess
think
it's more expensive too, maybe, to go to.
Oh yeah, no, it is because you invest. Remember, they play once a week, so it's like
Okay.
it's like that every Sunday, and what you have 8 to 10 home games if you include the preseason games. So it's a big event. People prepare weeks and like, oh, I'm marinating steak and I'm bringing it, but you know what I'm saying? They prepare.
Seriously, we're going for his 40th birthday in
exactly.
2 years. Like,
they get like, oh, I got a Winnebago and I'm bringing. You know what I'm saying? It's like they really go out and the alcohol is flowing and people get. I've seen fights. I've seen women fight. I've seen all types of people fight. I remember, what was it, last year I went to Jets Giants, and I swear to God, in the hallway, not in the stand, in the hallway, I've probably seen 3 to 4 fights.
Yeah, I don't like that kind of energy. Like
it's tough.
I've been to so many concerts, and I thankfully have never seen nothing like that, because I don't really go to really like. I mean, that's a lie, because I have seen mosh pits, but I haven't seen like people like brawling like.
Oh, I had an incident. Well, it was like I went to see Run the Jewels.
What kind of genre is that? Like, what kind of music?
Oh, Run the Jewels. You never heard of it? No. Oh my God.
All right, well, I'll get it for him later. All right.
It's Killer. You heard of Killer Mike?
Okay, yeah.
It's Killer Mike and LP. They've been.
Okay, so
they're old. They're kind of old school rappers, but they made a genre where it's a new school sound. Like the production is new school, but it's still good lyrics. Like and they draw in younger kids. So I'm like thinking I'm going to a concert. I went at Terminal 5.
Oh, okay. I actually like Terminal 5. I like the setup there.
Yeah, but it's more of a hall style. You
Yeah,
stand up. It's not
yeah.
like you have assigned seats, so it's like a
Right,
dance
right. Yeah, it's
hall
kind of
type
like,
thing.
yeah, cattle.
And I got there a little bit early, and I'm like, all right, it's cool. And I stood around, and then more people came, and then once like the music started, people started jumping, and then I was like, then the mosh pitting and stuff, and people. I remember one time it was somebody came in and pushed me, and this girl that was next to me, she got pushed too, and then it was like it is wild out, and I remember like I turned around like. I didn't like once he pushed me. I was like, he's doing a yeah, yeah, and then I just go back and I just kick him literally in the ass,
Yeah, just
and
come
he
on,
falls
like,
down.
yeah.
Like and I was like, I really but it's funny. Once I kicked him and he fell down, he got back up and like he was so drunk. Like everybody was there, but it's a younger crowd. I was like, if I do better, I would just got seats up top. And just
Yeah, I know.
been
I'm an
there
old
like a
lady now with my
dictator.
purse.
Yeah,
Like,
like a
let me
king, just
sit.
like
Let me
yeah.
just sit down now.
Yeah, that's what I would have did.
Honestly, we went to a thing. I'm not gonna say the name of it because they were like, don't take pictures or fucking dance or do anything while you're in here. But it was
like
a restaurant.
COVID
but
protocol.
they had,
like, hey,
they had live
we
music.
can do this, but we can't really do this.
We can do this, but you can't enjoy
so
it.
you
can't
please, yeah. You can't show your friends what you did.
Just gonna say what up, Nancy Weems? I saw you needed prayers today. Thinking about you, Nancy. Bonnie Scalisi, what up?
Hey, Bonnie.
Bonnie. We got Rob and DeVito, they were also not allowed to dance with me at this event that we're talking about. We got Taz, residential. I don't know if I can say her name. Taz, residential artist. Bruno Capola. These are people that are hanging. Everyone's talking to each other.
Hello.
Johnny Mac in the house. But luckily never saw any fights breaking out for me personally.
Yeah.
But people get but like I said, it was nice to so we weren't allowed to dance. You're not allowed to dance at the thing, but you are allowed to. You're allowed to do a two-step. Just don't. You're allowed to bop around at your. They can't stop me.
You
from
can't
doing
do the
that.
Running Man, or you can't twerk.
You can't stop me from tapping my fucking foot. And so Glenn at the end of the night, we're like driving home, and he's like, "It's kind of nice, like having a seat the whole time, like because like we're old.
Yeah, you're older, yeah. So you're like, yeah, it's like, all right,
yeah. I want a seat and a fucking, he wants a beer or two, have a nice meal. It's actually kind of nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I think COVID's gonna change it up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean the things are opening back up, and I see even concerts, and then once April, the entertainment venues are allowed to open back up
April
at DC.
2nd.
Yeah, everybody's counting down.
4/2/2020, yo, 2021, yo. I fucking lost a year there.
I would give it some time though. I think it's gonna be like ugly in the beginning, and then after a while, it's like
And are we gonna do COVID jokes or not?
I'm pretty sure we are. I mean, we can't avoid it. No, we can't. I mean, you can if you don't want to. You can do whatever you want.
I was avoiding it, but now I find myself writing COVID jokes.
You can.
Now.
I mean, you don't have to write
They're
it. I mean,
relevant.
it's up. Yeah, I mean, it's up to you, and that's what you've been. And that's what I mean, if that's where your mind is going, yeah. I think nothing's off limits. I think if you want to talk about something, you talk about it as long as it's funny, and if it's not funny, you move on. You tried it. You know what I'm saying?
My buddy literally started telling me that somebody I knew died the other day, and like a tear is forming by my. I'm like, are you serious? He was like, why do you care? You don't even know the guy. I was like, yes, I did. I used to work with him like a lot at my old job, like. I was like, what happened? Like, oh my God. He was like, yeah, he died like right when COVID came out and was like totally.
When COVID came out.
When it came out, like it was a fucking album.
He was the first one.
Like when it came out. And then he goes, you didn't even really know him. And then he goes, who are you talking about? And I'm like, I'm talking about Mark. And he's like, oh, I'm talking about fucking Mark from so-and-so. Like,
oh, wow.
We literally, in one conversation, we're talking about 2 locations. I'm, like, crying about someone like that. Like, oh, I'm like, he was, like, a super nice guy. He's like, what the fuck do you
So
care?
it was 2 different Marks?
Yeah. Dude, I'm crying
Did both of them
didn't die at all.
Are both of them dead? Or just
I don't know. I should really check on them now.
Yeah, maybe you should.
I literally thought about the girl that I used to work with that I fucking still tell.
Because you might have some guilt if he died. And like, because if he died, it's my fault.
Yeah, I'm a fucking witch. And just fucking shed a tear for him, and now he's fucking dead, yo. My cousin swears she killed Dave Thomas. from
Wendy's.
Wendy's. Yeah. Because she ate a Wendy's chicken sandwich one night. And she actually was friends with the guys from Taking Back Sunday. She grew up in Long Island. And, so she was with them, and fucking they no, it wasn't Taking Back Sunday. It was a different band. She was with that the night it happened. But either way, anyway, so she gets sick eating the fucking burger, eating the chicken sandwich,
and she puts a curse on Dave.
And the entire night, like the one guy was like, aren't you gonna be? She was sick all night, throwing up, so sick that she was like, I fucking hate Dave Thomas. I hate his fucking
burn in hell.
Burn in hell. Like, you are the devil, Dave Thomas. Meanwhile, Dave Thomas did like a lot for like adoption. And, like, he actually is like a really like
nice guy. Yeah. Now she's dead.
Next morning, hits the papers. Dave Thomas fucking pronounced dead. She's like, oh my fucking God. She's like, did I tell you about the time I killed Dave Thomas? Like, no.
While she's throwing up, he's like catching seizures and stuff.
Yeah, I gotta be careful.
Like a voodoo doll.
I kind of shit in my family. I run to my family.
Wow.
So you're rooting for laundry. You're a Mets fan? Why are you a
Mets fan? I mean, being from New York, I root for all New York teams.
I mean, being from New York is not enough.
No, it's not enough, but it's what I grew up with. And my father, the teams I root for with my father, like we grew up, I'm from Queens.
Is your dad still around?
My father died in 2007.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, thanks. But he was the reason I root for the teams. I root for the Mets, Jets, and Knicks, and they all suck.
I even say I'm always like, I was raised Mets and Giants because I don't follow football. I don't follow baseball, but
they're your local team,
and that's what
like,
my family. That's just what we did. And I've been to Yankees games and stuff because like you said, love of the game, or whatever. But you just like are raised a certain way. So that was your dad's. And was baseball primarily, was that his game that he watched mostly?
Baseball, I mean, Mets, I mean, Shea Stadium at the time, I was born in Corona, so it's like, Shea Stadium was like
you look
kind of a walking
distance.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah, I know. I was...
Really dumb Corona Queens. Yeah. Go Yankees,
that's right.
Cedric. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We love New York. You can't hate. And people are like, they throw so much money at the team, and it's like,
I don't blame anybody being a Yankees fan. You guys are happy. Happy and spoiled. Happy and spoiled because we haven't won a World Series since 2009. I was like, all right, try 1986.
So what are you gonna do if your son's like a diehard Yankee fan? Or
I'll be happy for him. I'll be happy. Or if he hates me, he can hate. I mean, right now I'm learning things on the fly. He might be a ballerina for all I know. You know what I'm saying? We don't
encourage that.
I mean, even if you want,
3 years old, guys, for context.
3.5. But it's like, I'm just exploring. Like I take him to a lot of things, and if he likes, I never like what I try to do. And I think, we don't try to force him into things.
Right. Because they're kids. They just
there's kids. You know what I'm saying? But like, if he draws something, like find something that he really likes, and just like my responsibility as a dad now is just to make sure to get him, expose him to as many things as he could possibly get. And if if it catches on with him and then he wants to pursue something like that, I just want to create the opportunities for him that, I didn't get,
Yeah, because there's a bunch of stuff that I was like, oh, I wish my parents would have, like, when I was younger, like, I think I was like 14, I like asked for a guitar, and like, I totally like didn't do lessons or like push myself to like freaking do it.
It's funny because my parents did like, we did all, like, musically, like, as far as took guitar lessons, piano lessons.
Oh, okay. That's good. See, that's...
And all that. But I just, at the time, I think I was maybe, like, 10, 11. And my friends were like, yo, come outside. I was like, I got guitar lessons. And it was like...
lame. We're outside. We're doing something else.
Yeah, we're throwing rocks. And
getting into trouble.
And then I could have been a guitarist. Now I'm throwing rocks.
But you had friends.
Yeah, I guess.
Connection. And like it's like everybody like gravitates to different stuff. Like like you said, you just got to kind of put it in front of him and see what it goes for.
Yeah, and then
So he likes palling around with you. He likes how.
I mean, I took
or
him.
You literally just buy him that stuff.
Well, what's the fun thing is, you can bring your kid, I took advantage of all this stuff because it was free. You know what I'm saying? I
Oh,
don't have
oh
to buy him
yeah,
a
yeah.
ticket.
He's like a
Like I
baby.
think,
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
he's
like,
literally a
yeah,
baby.
it's
So like at
literally. They're like, oh,
two,
he can't
3
eat.
years
Yeah, they're like,
old,
bring him
you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, all right, one ticket. It's two of us. He's
one,
on my lap,
please.
and I
That
can
is
just,
pretty
yeah,
cool.
I
Yeah,
can
so
bring him in.
capitalize on that.
Yeah, and I was like, that's the best thing. So as long as like even traveling, I was like, before that's why I hate COVID because like we took him to Disneyland like in December of 2019.
Nice.
Didn't have to pay for him. No, my bad. No, wait, hold up. I don't think I had to pay for him because he was like 2, so I think he got it for free.
Yeah, they're like,
If
he
I'm
can't
not
make
mistaken,
memories.
if yeah, exactly. So it's like I'm not gonna remember this. Yeah, we took you to Disneyland a long time. It's free.
Yeah, like, you can't do anything.
Yeah, but like going to games and going to like events and stuff, yeah, he gets in for free. So I was like, yeah, it's like drag him on before like it starts really costing me. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, and you're also big. You watch what is it? You like boxing?
I love the combat sports. I love boxing,
Yeah, because you're
MMA,
always
pro
at.
wrestling. Yeah, I had a habit before like I became a sponsor adult. I was always going to something.
A habit.
Yeah, it was a bad out. Like I love live events. I love like concerts. We ran into each other at concerts.
Yeah, I know.
Like, these things.
It
They're
is like
fun.
that. It's that energy. You can't
Yeah,
produce that
it's
anywhere
fun. And
else.
even doing like doing stand up. It's like now we're on the other side of the fence where we're bringing the we're showcasing our talents to other people. And it's just something about that. And then to be on the other side of it and watch,
right.
whatever we love, whether it be sports or entertainment, it's so much,
Yeah.
it's fun to be a part of that live. Nothing's better than anything live,
Yeah.
So I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bad habit. It's an expensive habit. Like I went to the Super Bowl when it came here. I spent maybe a lot of money. I remember like, all right, I'll pay it back on my tax return.
Yeah. No, I know. And you get carried away because it's like, oh, well, it's only gonna be here once, and I'm only gonna, like we were saying, like it's something you look forward to. You have to marinate in your meat for literally.
Yeah, exactly. And it's something like I said, I could like
2 years.
one time, and then I can like, I did that, and I don't regret doing it.
Yeah.
I spent.
Honestly, because like that's how I am. I feel like I'll spend my money on like experiences. Like
exactly.
I'd
I'm not like I said going to the outlet. I was so happy going to the outlet because I got jeans for $20 and sneakers for $10. Yeah.
I know I'm frugal as fuck.
Yeah.
I don't like spending money. I
like I'm frugal on that, but if it's
right.
stuff like that, it's like you spent $800 to go to a baseball game.
Yeah, but people like you've seen a movie in 4D.
Yeah,
it's like yeah, why not?
Yeah,
like, it's fucking,
yeah. Our priorities are way different. Yeah,
and it wasn't all that it was cracked up to be, but I had fun.
Yeah,
I can say I saw.
You said it, and you didn't regret it. Yeah, it's like it was. You did there, done that. Yeah, I hated it. Yeah.
Did you do it? Have you been to that?
I never been to I did IMAX and stuff like that. Yeah.
It's fucking nothing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's like
It's pretty low grade. No, it was fun, but like I said, it's just something, it's paying for an experience is definitely where I'd rather spend my money. I'd rather spend my money on a trip, gas money. I'd rather go see fucking places.
Yeah.
100%. Like some people have like a spending habit with like the clothes. Like
whatever it is. Some people like I wish, well not I wish, but like I'm not a big fat, especially at this thing, with a family. It's like I can't buy, but like if I live nearby here, you at the outlet every day.
Well, yeah, because you justify
$10 sneakers.
You justify it, yeah. But my husband, he'll be like, he's like, don't buy cheap stuff. Like he'll be like, you just invest in nice stuff.
Yeah, because it lasts longer.
Yeah, like if you're gonna buy like crappy like shoes, he's like, save up for leather like shoes and don't let that shit, and then actually have a nice pair of shoes that you wear instead of fucking just a ton of 100 pairs of crappy fucking shit.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm like, I don't know where you came from, dude. Like you're born on another planet or something. With like, he's like,
and that's probably
just like,
and that's probably his vice. You know what I'm saying? Just like, I just like expensive or nice.
Yeah, he's like
quality stuff. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that.
He's like, oh, it's just like cheap. Like like women's dresses sometimes, like especially like that stuff that you can buy online. And, like it's like spandexy.
The Kmart collection, the Jacqueline Smith Kmart collection.
Yeah, it's like it's like plastic that should not be like that close to your nose and like mouth for that long.
I don't know if you remember Stephen Barry's.
Dude, yes, I fucking, we came across a Stephen Barry shirt the other day. I'm like, we need to fucking, we're hoarding
I
clothes
was
now.
a fan like of the Starberry collection because Stephon Marbury was a Knicks player,
Okay,
and
okay,
he brung like, oh, it's cheap sneakers for $20. Like,
okay.
all right, so if this NBA player is wearing $20
Wait, hell
sneakers,
yeah.
it really like all right. And I remember buying
Good
like
enough for me.
Stephen Barry's, what was it, Westbury, Source Mall, and they yeah
He had one up fucking state by him. There was like a chain of them. But
yeah they were, but like I remember like people were like buying like yeah $20. I bought like maybe 5 pairs. He had pairs that like were legit like basketball shoes. Then he had the casual shoes with a nice color and it matches with your jacket. And I was like
the
I had
setup.
8 pairs of sneakers, $10. Like I had $80.
In shoes.
I had
But you
like
know what? But you had everything that you
I had
needed.
every color. I was like Run DMC with Adidas. I was just like, like green on white, red on white. Just match. It's like, and I only spent $80.
But I mean, totally marketable. It's a good idea.
No, they were great. I loved like that was, and then I think the Williams sisters, the tennis like Venus and
Oh
shit,
yeah,
they
hell
had
yeah.
it, and then Sarah Jessica Parker had a collection like Stephen Barry,
You're rocking
and
those
then next
too.
week it's like Stephen Barry's goes out of business, and you're like, oh man.
Man, scandal. Starberry sneakers.
Yeah, they were
He says
great.
lasted for 2 weeks.
These 2 weeks, yeah, I remember running. Yeah, there was a
They
hole
just
in them.
fell
Yeah,
apart.
they really, literally just fell apart. I don't think Stephon Marbury had though. Like he was playing with
Yeah, I
those
think he might
exact
have put them
sneakers.
on for the commercial.
Yeah. But they did fall apart really quickly.
That was one of my questions. Who's your favorite player?
Basketball player of all time, or
anybody?
any athlete?
Any
I have. Oh,
of
I
all
have a
time.
lot of them. I think
All right, so who's up there?
well, in basketball, it's Patrick Ewing for the
Oh,
Knicks.
okay.
Yeah, he was the heart and soul of the Knicks. If you're a Knicks fan, baseball, it's Darryl Strawberry and Dwight Gooden. Like they were everything to me. It's like it was like seeing especially like two black baseball players, which was like at one point was rare to see. It's like it's like oh man, it's dope, and they play for the team I root for. So yeah, those two, and football it's like Curtis Martin, and then I got a bunch of.
Yeah, no, but it's all,
Yeah.
no, it's just an interesting question because I feel like people like really identify with different players, like, and it's like sometimes like even your favorite player might not even be from your favorite team. You're like, oh,
No, yeah, absolutely,
I love
yeah.
that guy.
Like I was a big even though I'm a Jets fan, I was a big Lawrence Taylor guy. He was so good.
Yeah, it's just like people.
And then he's in the water boy and telling people not to smoke crack. It's like,
do you have any like lucky charms or things that you like for a game day? You feel like
nah, I'm not into that.
Like
I
any
used to be
rituals?
no. I used to be like with I think like with baseball, like with Mexican, like they have a rally cap thing. If like your team's down by a couple, you turn the cap inside out and you put it on. Once in a blue, I do
You would
that.
do
But
it?
yeah, but as an adult now, I just sit back. Like I have no control. I'm more mature. I used to be the guy like yeah and root for, and now I just sit there. I'm just like okay.
Some people
They lose again.
yell and get really
Yeah, I mean, well, it
mad.
all depends. Where like I think I grew up like there was one point in my life I had season tickets for the Knicks, and that was the most fun I had. And one of the things like one of the cool things having season tickets for the Knicks, I had a teacher from high school, and he had good seats. He had like seats maybe like 10 rows from the basket. So then I used to come, and the Knicks at the time, they always, there was a good 20 years where they sucked. But I had my season tickets maybe like 2003, 2004. And he used to sit there and like, and people wouldn't come to the games. Like those guys are so rich and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
they're like
I don't want to get, I don't want to go.
Like...
So he would tell me, he's like, hey, those people aren't coming, so you come down. And then we used to come down. I had like the greatest seats for paying the minimal.
And
then we just go down, and to the point where security thought we sat there. It's like, hey, how you doing? It's like, yeah, I'm good. You going to seats? Like, yeah. It's like, all right. What do you do for a living? I was like, oh.
My dad, it's really expensive,
Yeah, but it was just so much fun. Like, and it's it's like I've met so many friends and so many people that are in my life now because of doing that. and it's so much fun. Like one of my best friends I met through Knicks games and stuff like that, and he's like, we've been best friends for a while now. And then my teacher from high school, who I used to act up in his music class, and then we run into each other at a game, and then he's like, "Yo, sit here," and like we have a bond now. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
that those memories last a life. It's more sentimental now than than anything.
Yeah, no, absolutely. My like I said, my mom and my stepdad are big Titans fans, and now since my brother's been home with like not with COVID, but he's been home also, and he lives with my parents. He's been like someone who's never been a sports fan really in his entire life. He's a 26-year-old kid, and now he's like rooting for the team with them, and like no one,
Yeah,
and
it's more of a sense of like,
and
it's
it's
like I
like a
like him because my
family.
dad. Yeah, it's a
It's like
bond. It's a bond with your family. Yeah,
yeah, it's like almost more of like just like a going to church thing. Like,
Yeah,
this is what we
it's
do
kinda,
on
yeah.
Sunday. We cook all this food. You know, my stepdad, makes a ton of fucking appetizers that they eat all day and shit. It's like, it's like a whole ritual.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But yeah, seeing some of the sports, like when I first saw something without an audience, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, this is so weird to watch two guys fight and they're not being
At first,
like
it was
the
weird.
UFC.
Yeah, at first it was weird, but then they started implementing like crowd noise, or you
Yeah,
don't
so it's not
feel
like so you don't
as
really hear the
like with like with in the beginning, like I said, like I remember like watching a boxing, and they didn't implement crowd noise, or they didn't implement like kind of, so you would hear everybody like fucking hit him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, seriously.
You would hear all that stuff, but now it's like even with baseball, like if you watch Met games, they put the crowd noise if they do something, then they have the cardboard cutouts in the stands, and it's like, and now they're letting fans back in at like what 10%.
So
Well, at least
sneak a few couple
so
real ones.
you hear them, you know what I'm saying, and they're really just happy to be there to get some type of little bit of normalcy. Even though, like going to these things now, because I have a friend who is a Knicks season ticket holder, and he goes and he has to take a COVID test the day before he goes to the game, or else he can't, if it's to test, because they're really not playing around. They're like, they don't want
we can't be responsible that all you guys just left and fucking whoops, like
so yeah, I understand that. That's why I'm not crazy to go to anything now, because I don't feel like going through all that.
Right.
Even though it's more intimate because there's less people, but at the same time, it's like, do I really want to go through take a COVID test?
Yeah, it's a big commitment to have to go to, and you even said like it takes the fun out of it.
Yeah, it's like it's work now. It's like, all right, did you take your test? Like, it's like, oh, let's go to the concert. Like, oh, did you take your test? And it's like, yeah.
And some jobs, they want you to take a test when you leave or when you come back, and then take another one just to make sure that in between you're getting your results.
And I understand that, but at the same time, it's like, if you have the option not to go through it, I just won't go. I just rather just not have that hassle,
Yeah. So yeah, we'll just wait it out a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm okay. It's
gonna wait it out.
Yeah, it's not bad.
What do you think what's your most exciting sport for you?
I think lately I've been gravitating more to maybe like combat sports. Like, I like the feel of like MMA and boxing. It's just a different sport. Yeah, two people are beating the shit out of each other, but it's like
it's like Gladiator though.
Yeah,
it's like there's something.
But
that's
there's
so
a skill to that.
Oh yeah,
it's not just them just like, all right, rock 'em, sock 'em. Yeah,
no, you have
robots.
To be.
You know what I'm saying? It's a skill and a beauty to it.
Those guys are highly trained.
Yeah, and then I think lately, because I think what I've been taking advantage of over the COVID is like, I had a trial membership to the UFC gym, and it was like I was just going there, and I also had a membership. One thing that happened last year, I forgot I joined. Floyd Mayweather has a boxing fitness studio or whatever. They don't label it as a gym because it's technically not a gym per se. It's not like you go there and you lift weights. It's a studio. It's not that big, but you take boxing. They have boxing equipment, and you have to buy gloves and stuff like that. And it's a class. It's like a cardio class.
Yeah.
It's a kickboxing class. Not a kickbox, but it's a boxing class. And you just hit stuff, and it's cool. It's like, all right, I'm
Yeah.
hitting stuff, and I forgot I joined last year, so I'm like, when I remember they opened up in February, like or mid January, and I just see a bill like, why did they take out this money out of my account?
Yeah,
I was like, I thought I canceled. I thought they weren't open. And I was like, oh my God, they took this money in the accounts. Because I didn't plan on going. I thought I canceled it.
Yeah.
And it was like literally a year that I joined. But then the pandemic hit, so the gym didn't.
Yeah. Did you get it straightened out?
Well, I was like, can I get my money back? It was like, well, you signed a contract, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, but you can cancel. I canceled, so I milked out the month. I went there every day.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get this money's worth of hitting some bags and stuff.
Yeah, if you're fucking charging.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I couldn't. I've never had a gym membership. I mean, I've been to gyms with people like friends and stuff where they're like, oh yeah, and when I was in college, the gym was like just part of the rec. Like,
absolutely. You go to the rec room. So yeah, it's like you were a student, so you just go in.
I would take advantage of that. Also,
absolutely.
I liked fucking drinking alcohol, so I wanted to stay a certain size. And you gotta fucking, you gotta work out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, the gym is like, it's a whole fucking thing. I'd rather be self-motivated at home.
Yeah.
So some people need to be at the gym to be motivated.
Yeah, well, I didn't need, because I worked out at home, but like where we live now, like we live in like, it's like an apartment complex. It's like a 2 or 4 family complex. And we live on the second floor. And every time I would work out, my neighbors would bang on the...
Yeah.
And you're like, God, every time it's like, we can't do it.
It's like, we have a 3-year-old in here.
Yeah, exactly. No, they're pain. They're such pain in the ass. And can't wait for the leases up. Yeah, I can't wait till the leases up. But like, yeah, it's like, every time I work out, they were ring a bell. It's like, hey, or when my wife would do something. It's just, it's just a pain in the ass.
Noise order.
Yeah, but we're not noisy people. But it's like, that's a.
Yeah, no, that's
that's
annoying.
Yeah.
I always like when we lived at the first floor of a house, and an older lady lived upstairs. And like, it just sucked because I would want to like vacuum at like, I'm like a fucking crackhead, so I'd be up at like midnight, like, oh, I just cleaned, I want to vacuum. I'm like, this fucking sucks, like. It's really like, I wish I were more of an asshole. I wish I could just run this vacuum right now.
I know. It's just...
Because I know if I were yelling, she would have heard me, Like,
that's why it's cool to, if you live in a house, it's always just like, you don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, I don't want to share a wall with anybody.
Yeah, I know with the responsibility of a house, because I grew up in a house probably all my life, and I know, like, you got to do this, and you got to pay for that, and do all that. But it's a pain in the... I think anywhere you cut it, because it's like, all right, what's better at owning a house? Yeah, you own a house, that's cool, but like
water came through my fucking ceiling the other day, and it's like, oh, this is fun. My God. Like, okay.
And as soon as you fix that, now the door is broken. And as soon as you fix that, the stove is like, oh, we got
my friend,
a rodent problem.
Yeah, no, I got holes in my wall. My fucking friend's dog fucking chewed holes in my wall. Glenn was like, I mean, we need to redo
and
the
you
house,
have to do it. Yeah, and then you have to do it.
Anyway, but we're like, we can't do anything until May, because you paint this shit, you need to be able to have the fucking windows open, or we'll fucking die in here. Laugh a lot, and
it's
then
like a mass suicide.
Get a little giddy and fucking die. So yeah, no. But it's like you said, and then you start looking around. We did the 2 rooms upstairs. One, when I first started working remote, I was working at this here, and then I was changing it for the wildflowers, and I was like, I'm losing my goddamn mind. Like, I don't even have a fucking kitchen table, and my work and my fun and my dinner is at the same fucking place. Like, I need some semblance of like splitting this shit up.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Yeah.
And then you just start looking around, and you're like, oh, now this looks like shit, because like that looks good in there now.
Yeah.
But even having like a small yard is nice, because like we were raking, like the first time we raked when it wasn't like too much shit on the ground.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, this is nice. It literally like not even a whole afternoon, like the two of us can like handle this. Like, like, we have like a big fucking lawn. Like we would just let it. We rented a place that had a big lawn, a big yard, and it was nice. We had a dog ran around and stuff. But like, now thinking back on that, I would not want to be raking that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like now that like I own this place, like
Yeah.
keeping that green or anything, I didn't give a fuck
Mm-hmm.
if that
Yeah.
grass was fucking yellow.
Or you could
anything.
pay, you know, landscaping people to come by, and then, you know, that's another thing.
Around here, these people are crazy. They're like, "Yo, we'll do it for like $20 if we're on the block," because they'll come to the block and then they just fucking set like people free because it's like it's literally we're already
it's
here
the
with
convenience
all our
of
shit.
it's like go ahead.
Yeah, I'm like Jesus.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know how you guys are making money doing that.
I
but
know. No, they get a lot.
It's a hustle.
It is a hustle.
It's a fucking. I mean, I guess if you're doing enough of them, that's what it is. And if you're going often enough, it's like, oh, we'll just trim it up. It's not that much work.
Yeah, when I lived at home, they would come like once a week, and it was like, you know, they weren't playing around. They would do it and be like, oh, we didn't know he was doing
that. well, that's why some people like the idea of like a condo or something, because like then when you get older, like
I think there's
like,
a balance.
Your
you don't have to do that. All it
like,
is you pay that, you know, that
maintenance fee or whatever.
Maintenance fee. But then you live with other people.
Yeah, so it's a balance.
It's a balance, I think, of all this stuff. You know, you live in a house, you have your privacy and your peace of mind, but at what cost? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I mean, also, I mean, I'm not going to say, like, knock on wood, but, like, let's say I'm an old lady, a widow, Glenn, like, maybe it would be nice to, like, know that I'm, like, got a neighbor that, God forbid, I'm screaming when no one fucking getting murdered. And
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yeah, that we're getting fucking murdered. Like, in here, I could be getting murdered for a little while before my neighbors are like, oh, she's always screaming, like, over there.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. They're crazy over there. Yeah, Mandy
like,
crazy.
It's Mandy just being her fucking self. Like, at least then they'd be like, Mandy's 80 years old and fucking a widow and shouldn't be screaming at her all the top of her lungs. So, like, there's definitely that sort of, like, you know, community care.
Yeah.
Because here, like, they didn't even, like, wave to, because we moved in when it was, like, snow on the ground. And, like, people, like, didn't even, like, wave to us.
It's like, I know. Yeah.
Fucking
it all depends where you live, too. Sometimes,
you're literally 100 yards in front.
Yeah, sometimes you won't know your neighbors till 5 years later, or if you know them, you get to, you know, it's a complaint. I'm like, I think either
nice
way.
To meet you. Can you not park your car on the fucking lawn?
Either way, it's like no matter where you live, you have to deal with people at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's the really hard part. Is like I want to just isolate and be like, yeah, I'm gonna go away and if you gone,
and if you live, it's like where are you gonna, like, you know, you want to be rich and live in a mansion and your mailbox is like 100 yards away. You know what I'm saying?
You still gotta be nice to the people that work for you.
It's
so they don't fucking spit in your food. And
exactly.
Put, like arsenic in your fucking soup.
I think it's all good and bad. I think it's all, you know, there's disadvantages, you know, advantages to, because like I said, I grew up, you know, I'm from Queens, Rosedale, Queens, which is kind of suburban-ish. You know, it's like
I consider Queens like it's like
it's a mix. I think it's like a mix. It depends. If you live more outward toward Long Island like I did, then it's like, you know, I mean, it's not a lot of land and the houses aren't as big, of course, as out here, but it's still a little, you know, I had a front yard and a backyard. We had
space.
We had, you know, wasn't as big as Long Island houses, but they were still a decent. But, you know, you still had neighbors and you still had, you know, so it's like, you know, you had this, but you know, you live in an apartment, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're paying rent and something goes wrong, but you got to kind of depend on the landlord, and the landlord might be like, the super is busy.
Yeah.
Everything's out. And if something goes out in the whole building, you're like, oh my God, what the? Like our power went out sometime, I think, maybe last month, and we had it out for like a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't the apartment.
I remember that because there was a storm out here that put the power out for like 2 days.
Well, it was just literally on my block.
Oh, okay. This was an isolated incident.
This was like more of a Con Ed issue. It wasn't the complex that we lived in.
It wasn't like the weather, Mandy.
This is
a bad line.
It was just something on that street that blew. And I remember just at night, my wife called. It's like, the power's out. I'm like, I can't do nothing about the power. You know what I'm saying? And I think we were out of power for a good, like, maybe overnight into
so
like
you weren't
the
even home when she called you?
I was home.
Oh, okay.
And I was about to leave to go to the gym. And she's like, the power went out. I was like, So I went upstairs, and then I noticed everybody else is on that complex we lived in was out. And it was like, well, everybody's power. There's nothing I can do. It ain't my fault. So,
Sorry.
it's not even, yeah. And then Con Ed was up on it. You heard the trucks all night and stuff like that. And they were trying to rectify the situation. So, yeah, we had to wait till, and it came on, I think, 11, 12 o'clock that afternoon. It was like, and it's weird. Like, we, don't take power or energy for granted because that is a scary. No internet because you're
you go to open the fridge, you're like, oh, no light, fuck.
If your phone, you pray to
Oh
God that
yeah,
your
stop
phone
taking
is
no light, but you need the light on the phone, but you need a fucking really flashlight because
I had to take a shower and I had to take a shower with the flashlight on. It was just Or your car, like everything, like you go in your car and put your
you're like, oh, this too, goddamn it. Everything, it's like, oh, this too, fuck, like you can't.
It's just amazing how much shit we depend on, because of
Oh yeah.
Power and energy, and it was just like,
my company is like, they're really great in that they are like paperless and they try to like have everything streamlined. And when COVID first hit, when it first came out, we came like they had us working from home, and basically we didn't have many plot holes in our system because my boss has been like, this is going to be the way of the world for like a really long time. He's like just someone who's like a techie guy, and that's how he like sees it. But then there's also like the downfall of like the power went out at our job the other day, and we're like, what are we gonna do? Like literally, like
there's nothing nobody can do.
Does Rob have the puppy here? Like, like what can we do? Like seriously, like they're literally dead in the water. And my one friend, she's like, well, we can go home and I'm like, but yeah, I can't use if I go to remote desktop, my remote desktop is logging into the computer here, and she's like, no, but we have like certain platforms that are not like that aren't work platforms that I could like sign into and work. Like, do half my job, like because like literally without Wi-Fi or internet, it's like without their server rather. Like I can't get like invoicing done, but I can get like job creation and like other shit done. So like she's like, we can go home, and I'm like, well, if there's internet there because it's 15 minutes away, but like. Luckily, or
you could use your phone if you have a hotspot. Yeah. But that drains. Sometimes that doesn't even work.
I actually called one day. I called because I was working remote and I didn't have power here, and they were like, "Yeah, they showed me how to use my phone as a hotspot." The guy was like, "Turn this off." I was like, "My husband might fucking kill me. This better not be like." I better not be using like $100.
I know, it's like phone bill next is like what?
Because my shit's automatic. It'll be like, Mandy, thank you. We hit your card for $1,574 for 13 minutes of work.
I remember when we first moved to our apartment. At first, I was trying to avoid getting internet, like Verizon or Spectrum. Like I was trying to.
You're like, we're just gonna be Amish now, honey. Like,
I was like, oh, we'll use the hotspot for everything. And
we just can be a hotspot.
I remember, we had YouTube on the TV and we were using the hotspot. God. And my kid was watching like Peppa Pig or something, and it would just froze, and he just lost it. He was like, ah! While he's crying, you see that little circle just buffering. It's like
it's taunting me.
You can't. Yeah, it's like you can't. It's like hotspots. I mean, they can only because after you run a certain amount of it, it slows down. Well, even if you have unlimited internet on your whatever provider plan, it's not really. It's unlimited for good internet. I mean, no, it's unlimited for the internet, but you only get 8 hours of good internet, and then the rest is just shitty internet. It's dial up basically.
It's a very loose term, and you specifically using the phone to the computer. That's like a hard thing for it to compute. That's heavy fucking duty work.
Yeah.
For it. Yeah.
I'm surprised after it goes, how to use the dial up. It's
oh yeah. So you had to cave in and get the.
Yeah, we had to like up.
Cable fucking package.
Not our plan. Yeah, and it would sucks. I mean, you can't. I know in the future, like I think cable boxes should be done with. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like I don't know how.
Fire stick. It's pretty.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, all right, you probably have whatever because mostly everybody I think uses Verizon or Spectrum. Is that the? Well, I know out here there's more options.
I'm Verizon. I mean, it's.
Well, I don't even think it's Spectrum.
decent
Spectrum's not
shit.
even Long Island. I think what is Optimum or whatever.
Yeah, everyone's Optimum. Yeah, because that's fire.
Yeah, Queens is I have either Verizon or Spectrum. That's I think our only two options.
Honestly, like I fuck Optimum. They still owe me like $70. we moved from our old place to here, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we see." They said to Glenn, they were like, "We could see on your account that like you have a $70 credit, but they're like, we actually don't have a way of cutting you that check."
What?
And he's like, "Are you fucking serious?" Like, and like someone was like, "Oh, you should get Optimum." He was like, "Never, not in this house."
Yeah.
No, like I fucking hate Optimum.
But it's like, all right, yeah, because it's like
hating them.
It's like, all right, like I just need internet, and they're like, all right, you want an internet package? All right, it's $100 a month or whatever. And it's like, but you can get the whole phone. Like the phone is like automatic. It's like it's like you can't. Like
it's cheaper to like.
Yeah, it's like cheaper to bundle. Yeah, it's like so it's like, well, damn. It's like I'm pretty sure everybody does. I just want internet. It's like, well.
Yeah.
I think it costs you more just to have internet than the bundle.
No, it really is true because they're like, oh, if you want a phone number, like it's $10 less, and it's like, oh, okay, I'll take.
But not only that, I think part of the
then.
server when they put it in, they attach a phone line, a landline to it.
The fucking house. Right?
Yeah, so it's like you kind of like you already have it because we're like we don't want phone. It's like, but you already have a jack, so you have a number. It's like, well, I don't know my number, you know. So,
right.
So it's like you're stuck. Yeah.
You have it.
And then you get cable for $20 more. It was like, oh, yeah, go ahead.
But I mean, speaking of sports, my stepdad's insane with the package because he's got the
Sunday football ticket.
Well, because he's a Titans fan, so he's got the Sunday and he's got a fucking a satellite dish on the house.
Yeah, DirecTV is the only one that offers the Sunday ticket.
Yeah, so he's got that. And
but once DirecTV loses that deal, like DirecTV is kind of useless for him.
Yeah, so he's
that's why it's in a lot of bars. A lot of sports bars have DirecTV but if it rains, because I used to have DirecTV, and if it rains really hard, you're screwed.
Because it collects in the dish.
Yeah. It's like, you're like, oh my God, it's happened.
And that's when people are fucking. That we used to always be in like cartoons, like an old man on the roof.
Exactly.
Like, the fucking,
yeah, satellite is
the
not.
Satellite dish.
They just been in business. Like you don't see less. Like I remember DirecTV commercials used to be often, and I think at one point you had to buy. You didn't have you didn't have the option to rent those boxes. You had to buy the whole satellite with the cable boxes, so it cost you like a good $500-600 or something.
Oh yeah, no, that always when someone had a dish like that on their house, especially the big dish, you're like, oh, those people fucking they got some money up in there. Like, I don't know exactly what that's fucking doing.
I remember the dishes were big, and it's like you say, we have to have the satellite in this part of the backyard. And they cut off half the backyard. It's like, yeah, don't go over there. There's a satellite.
That's how we got
there's aliens over there.
And there might be some radiation coming off.
Yeah, I know.
Just fucking stay away from it, guys. And it's on a nice tilt where it doesn't fuck up in the storm. So. Oh my God! But that has been the hour. Wow,
that's it?
Yeah, tell us.
For real?
Tell us again, Johnny, how we can find you.
Oh man, Instagram, Twitter. Here's Johnny Mac, and my podcast, Root for Laundry. We've been on a little hiatus. I'll come back soon.
And that's on Twitter, right?
Twitter and Root for Laundry. Twitter and Instagram.
Instagram, okay.
Yeah, and there's a Root for Laundry page. So if you're a sports fan and you root for certain teams, you might like it. You might not like it. Whatever.
But it's interesting to hear, and sometimes maybe if someone's got a team that you don't really,
that's what's the fun part is like, why do you root for this team? Exactly. I mean, I'm obsessed with stuff like that, and the guests we had on, which most comedians that you might have seen on TV or might not or whatever, but it's just fun having these conversations and it just to be fun. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's not like, in a world where everything is, everybody has opinions on the world and what's going on and they side with this side and side with this side. It's like, I'm just all about trying to have fun, trying to,
Right, and it's a game, guys.
Good energy,
you can't forget that it's a game. Like, if you're playing and you love that, you don't hate the player, don't hate the team.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't hate the game.
Yeah.
Like, But thank you so much. You
Thank
were
you.
a gentleman as
Thank you.
always. We will have to share the page, how to get
Yeah,
to
please.
Rooting for Laundry, because most people
I'm
find me on
canceled.
Facebook, so then we root.
We're on a hiatus.
Yeah, well, right now, but you're coming
Yeah,
back.
I'm coming back.
I'm not letting you stop.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for you. All right,
you.
this is Johnny Mac, Mandy Jones signing off. We love you guys. Be good. Thanks for watching,
Bye.
guys.